Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today I'd like to talk about how we self-sabotage in relationships and how this can actually be seen just by looking at a Qimen Dunjia chart, or a Qimen Dunjia destiny chart to be precise. So, nobody is perfect. Relationships are complicated. We all know that. And very often we sabotage ourselves. Yeah. Of course, we always want to see the fault in the other person or in the partner or in the circumstances, but very often, obviously, we have a part in the argument or in the fact that relationships don't work out as well. And there are usually certain factors that are a constant in our life that tend to always sabotage our relationships, mostly our romantic relationships. So in a Qimen Dunjia chart, this can be seen quite clearly what tend to be the main factors that we, or the main traps that we fall into. So for example, in a destiny chart, we can see very clearly that, throughout your life, maybe financials will always be an issue. Either you're always going to argue about money, or you're going to be the one who's always spending too much, or you're going to be the one who doesn't have enough money and therefore always feels like you can't contribute enough. So all of these aspects fall into financial self-sabotage, for example. And once you know about this, you can actually then work on resolving these internal issues, because these are issues that you yourself need to deal with. This is not something your partner can solve or the environment can solve. You yourself first need to be able to deal with these particular problems yourself on an internal level. Or, for example, career is always a problem. Work may always come first. You may not even notice this. Yeah, you may say, well, I really need to work in order to bring home enough money and to make everyone happy. And so work always comes first. And so this may be a constant, yeah, throughout your life, where you always tend to put career or work-related matters or work colleagues first. Yeah, and even though maybe your wife, your spouse, your husband, whoever is aware of it, you yourself may not notice it, but it is very clear in a Qimen destiny chart. Or maybe your family could be a stumbling block. Yeah, maybe your family has certain values, certain belief systems that always counter a relationship that you may get into. And if you don't assert yourself and actually step out of those boundaries that are imposed by your family, but not necessarily by you, you will always tend to run into the same sort of obstacles. Yeah, so once we are aware of the blocks, of the types of issues that will go through our lives whenever we go into a relationships, then we can actually start working on them. Because we may know what the problem is, but not always, we don't always know the root cause. So if you want to know more about this, contact me and I'll be happy to have Qimen Dunjia destiny analysis for you. And we can look into what can counter your relationships, but then also what can solve the problem.